Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to the Suburban Proletarian. My name's Greg, and today's installment is going to be another relatively short one. I've been going full bore at the two jobs that actually pay the bills around here. It is the middle of February. We had a major snow and ice event that I had to deal with at my full-time job. We're getting ramped up on some new projects at my part-time fabricating gig, and so I got to fit these videos in where I can. Today's installment is going to be on another watch strap. I didn't really have the intention of making this a watch channel when I started, and I certainly don't have the intention of making a watch strap channel. Now I know the last video I did was on a watch strap as well, but I got a new one. It's actually pretty nice. I think it's worth taking a look at. And of course, straps and bands, however you want to refer to them, and bracelets are an intrinsic part of this hobby. So we're going to take a look at this today, for better or worse. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. It's not like anybody other than my father, hi Dad, is paying attention to what I'm doing on the channel at this moment. I've got 9 subscribers, although thank you very much to those of you who are subscribers, and I hope more of you will get on board soon once I can grow this channel a little bit. But before we start looking at the watch strap, let's do the obligatory wristwatch check. And today I am wearing my Rado Diastar. This was the subject, the unboxing of this was the subject of the very first video I did back in the beginning of January. And I really have not worn it until today, yesterday. I didn't get around to actually sizing the bracelet till yesterday, but I know I have to wear it if I'm going to review it. I've been trying to keep it new, but I can't do that forever. So I have taken all the stickers off, I've sized the bracelet, and I've started running it against the Watch Check app. I did that last night, so we'll start to get an idea of what kind of accuracy it's capable of. And I'm hoping that in a month or two I'll have a full-blown review of this watch. I've already got a few things I could tell you about it, but we'll save that for the actual review. So, without any further ado, let's move over to the table and check out this watch band. Alright guys, so here it is. But before we get started, would you look at that? I have been wearing this sucker for a little bit less than 24 hours now, and I just can't get over how smooth that second hand sweeps. I've owned some pretty high-end Swiss watches in the past, but I don't think I've ever had one with a 28/8 movement in it before. As a matter of fact, I know I've never had one. I've owned watches that were higher grade than this, but I've never had one with a watch movement that beat at 28,800 beats per second. I mean, I just can't get over the smooth progression of that second hand. But that is not what our video is about. What our video is in fact about is this right here. This is a new watch band which I just received the other day. I purchased this from a major online retailer. You can guess which one. And this is an example, a pretty nice example actually, of the influx of new Chinese products that are available on the market. We've obviously been getting all kinds of Chinese products, including watch bands, here in this country for decades, but they've largely been marketed by and manufactured under the supervision of large Western companies. And now we've got this influx of Chinese branded, Chinese manufactured products, many of which have completely incomprehensible names. This one's actually not too bad. I thought it was Wocci when I first bought it. I assumed that the CCI was pronounced the same way as Chi in Gucci, but more recently I've heard it pronounced by someone who was presumably Chinese as Wocci. So the CCI is apparently Ci and not Chi, and that sounds even more Chinese, Wocci. And it doesn't seem to be a made-up name. It does seem to be made by a company called the Foshan Wocci Watch Company Limited. So why did I buy this watch band? Before we get started, I'll explain why I bought this watch band. And the fact is, I bought a Chinese watch. I bought this little Shanghai Tongji Standard, And it's a beautiful watch. It will be featured in an upcoming video. It'll be featured in its own upcoming video, and it'll also be featured in an upcoming video in my Proletarian Watches of the World series. But as you can see, it's pretty nice. 19 jewel movement, stainless steel case, screw down case back, signed crown. It's a pretty nice little watch, but it came on an absolutely terrible, terrible band. I've had this watch just a few weeks. The watch purports to be genuine leather and manufactured by DeFancy. But if it's genuine leather, it's some of the worst genuine leather I've ever seen. First of all, I'm not a big fan of these sort of reptile embossed leather bands. And as you can see, it's starting to delaminate and fall apart quite quickly. It's held up for a few weeks of use, but it's just terrible. And even when it was brand new, it looked awful, and I wanted something different. But this Chinese watch, as is the case with some older Japanese watches, has a highly irregular, well, I don't know if it's highly irregular, but it's irregular enough that you can't just run down to Walmart and buy a watch band. An irregular lug width of 19 millimeters. So I had to look around and find a 19 millimeter watch strap to fit on this watch. And what I came up with was this Wocci. It's in an attractive enough cardboard box. You can see a little bit of information about it. The English and grammar is not the best. Inside here we have a little legend, which if you want to read it, I'm not going to read it back because I don't want to look like I'm making fun of anybody, but the English isn't the greatest, but we don't really buy things like this for the packaging anyway, do we? But it is, it's attractive. It's a nice looking package. The whole package is, kind of weighty. It has a quality feel to it. It's not flimsy. It's fairly nice. But that's not what we came to look at. What we came to look at was our watch band. And the watch band came with a spring bar tool, a fairly nicely machined spring bar tool, by the way, and not 2 but 4 spring bars. And I thought, well, maybe they're all different lengths. No, they're all the same. So taking into account that so often when we're changing the band on our watch, the spring bar comes flying out and disappears into the stratosphere. They not only gave us 1 extra, they gave us 2 extras. So that's kind of nice. And a silica gel pack, which, I'm not supposed to eat it. No fun at all. But this is what we came to look at. And I can tell you right off the bat, it's not too bad looking. The color is nice. It's an oil finished leather, which then also appears to maybe have been waxed. Very heavy gauge nylon thread in a contrasting color. It's an attractive watch band. I don't know what alloy the steel in the... Oh, I lost my little keeper loop there. Gonna watch for that. It didn't say what alloy stainless this is, but it's a fairly heavy grade buckle. Thank you so much for texting me in the middle of filming and reminding me that I didn't turn my ringer off. I'm going to do that. Now, about a week ago, I reviewed this watch band, which is also made in China, but it's manufactured by Barton Watch Bands, who are out of Texas, and it was also a very nice band. But I can tell you, and this band cost about $20. It's also through stitched. It does have these neat quick release spring bars. It's a neat watch band. But I'll tell you that for less than, well, no, more than, but not a whole lot more than half the price, I actually think that the Wocci or Wocci looks a little bit nicer. They used a heavier gauge of thread. The whole thing's a bit thicker. It is a little bit stiffer. It looks like it's going to take a little bit more time to break in. But it looks like it should hold up very well. Let's get this buckle back over here. The Wocci is actually made from a heavier grade of stainless steel. Now this does purport to be, the Barton does purport to be 316 stainless. I have no information about the stainless alloy used in this buckle. Also, you can see here the Barton uses a solid tang or pin. It's not a folded piece, whereas the Wocci or Wocci is a folded piece of steel. But I've never had one of these fail on any watch band ever, so I don't really see that as being a huge problem. Overall, I think it's a pretty nice looking band. Nice color, nice texture, nice stitching. It does have reinforcing stitches here at the buckle, although it lacks the same reinforcing stitches up here near the case, which the Barton does have. But still, at about $13, $12 to $13, it looks like an awfully nice watch band. So let's fit it to our little Chinese standard and see how it looks, shall we? Alright guys, and so there it is. And I think it looks pretty darn nice. It certainly looks a whole lot better than the fancy faux crocodile strap, which is going directly into the trash as soon as I salvage the buckle and the spring bars off of it. That's going bye-bye. But overall, I think it's a nice looking strap. It seems to be of very nice construction, sealed edges, nice stitching. I don't see any loose ends. I think this loop here could have maybe been finished a little bit better, although the one that's sewn into the strap is a little bit nicer. But overall, I mean, that's a sharp looking band for 12 bucks, especially when you compare it with a $20 strap like this, which is, you know, itself quite affordable. And it does have these neat little quick detach spring bars and everything. But honestly, I gotta say that the Wocci or Wocci, or however you pronounce it, has the edge here. And I guess that's about it. I don't really know what else I could say much about this. So let's head back over to the bookshelves and wrap this up. Alright guys, so there you have it. I hope you found this video informative. I really don't know if Wocci or Wocci is going to end up being a major player in the Chinese watch band industry. But I think that this particular band is a pretty good example of how the Chinese manufacturers have improved their overall quality, their fit and finish. My initial impressions are very good. I think I have no reason to believe that this watch band isn't going to hold up over time. But if it doesn't, I will certainly report back to you about it in the future. If anyone has any interest in how these two watch bands stack up against each other in a long-term test, go ahead and tell me in the comments below. I can do another video in 12 or 18 months. I'd be perfectly happy to do that. If you did enjoy this video, go ahead and click the like button. If you hated it, click the dislike button. But if you found it informative and you'd like more content like this in the future, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube has changed the rules on us very recently, as I'm sure some of you are aware. It's no longer about how many views you get, but rather how many subscribers you have. So if you subscribe to my channel, it'll go a long way to keeping me here on YouTube. And if you're already a subscriber, go ahead and click on the little bell icon down below. What that'll do is YouTube will send you notifications when I update the channel with new content. And when I do so, I hope to see all of you here again. Later, guys.